Hello, everyone. Good day from wherever you're watching. My name is Shoma Odikolo, and I welcome you all to the Renewed Parenting Platform. Today, we'll be discussing about 5 strategies on how to be a positive role model. Now, what does it mean to be a role model? Who is a role model? A role model is someone who is worthy of imitation. A role model is someone you can look at and say, oh, I really love the way this person does this thing. I would like to imitate what this person is doing. You know, as parents, we are our children's first role model. Yes. As a parent, you are the first role model of your child. Now, parents are responsible for teaching their children the way they should talk, the way these children should behave. We are responsible for teaching our children important values. We are responsible for teaching our children healthy choices, how to make wise decisions. We are our children's role model. So the question I have for us today is, are you a role model to your child? Can your children look at you and say, oh, I really love my mom. I love my dad. Oh, I would like to imitate what my mom or my dad is doing when I grow up and I have my own children. Can our children look at us and be proud and say, I'm grateful, I'm happy that these are my parents? Can our children look at us and say, oh, my parent taught me the values I'm living today? My parents taught me how to make wise decisions. My parents taught me how to choose healthy options. Can our children look at us and be proud, and say, oh, I'm grateful that this person is my parent? That's the question we need to, I have for us today. So we should remember that we are our children's role model, and we must intentionally model the things we want to see in them. You cannot want something in your child and you're living a life that is totally different from what you want. You cannot want a particular result and the steps you're taking to achieve that result is totally different from what you're supposed to do. So I'm going to share with us 5 strategies on how to be a positive role model to our children. Number 1, behavioral consistency. We have to be consistent as parents. We have to be consistent in the things we say. We have to be consistent in the way we talk. We have to be consistent. Our actions should align with our values. Our actions should align with the values we teach our children on a daily basis. You cannot say a different thing today and tomorrow you're saying something else. Children like consistency, so we have to be consistent with our behavior. We have to be consistent with the way we talk and the way we talk to our children. We have to be consistent with the way we speak to other people. We have to be consistent with the values we teach them. We cannot teach a different value today and tomorrow you're teaching a value that is contrary to the one you taught earlier. So we have to be consistent as parents. We have to be consistent with our values. We have to be consistent with the things we teach our children. Number 2 is communication. To be a positive role model, we have to be good communicators. And one of the ways we can foster positive and good communication between we and our children is by listening. Listening to our children. Not listening to judge, not listening so that they can just stop talking and I can go back to what I was doing, but listening, putting ourselves in that conversation. Listen and know how best we as parents can help our children. So as a parent, do you listen to your children? Or are you the type of parent that your child wants to talk to you and say, oh, I'm busy, can you come later? Oh, I'm busy, can you come later? Are you a good communicator? Do you listen to people? Because our children are watching. If we must be good role models, if we must model the positive or the right things for our children, we must be good communicators. We must foster open communication. Our children should be free and comfortable to be able to speak to us, to tell us the way they feel per time. Then the third way is empathy. We have to be empathetic as parents. We have to put ourselves in the shoes of other people. As a parent, are you empathetic? Are you empathetic towards the feelings of your child? Are you empathetic towards the feelings of a neighbor? Are you empathetic towards the feelings of other people you meet on the way? Or as a parent, are you just focused on your children? And if your children are fine and okay, every other person, it's, I can't, some of us will say, I can't be bothered. But our children watch us on a daily basis, and they see our interaction and our communication with other people. When we model empathy, it will come naturally and easy to our children to model. When you don't model empathy, definitely it's going to be difficult for our children to imbibe empathy. So as a parent, are you empathetic towards the feelings of other people? For example, a child is sad. Probably the child did not do well in his or her assignment. And as a parent, how do you react? Do you go and start yelling and start shouting on the child? A child that is already sad? Do you start to yell on that child? Or as a parent, are you empathetic? Do you come down to the level of that child and tell the child, you can give the child a hug and tell the child it's fine, it's okay, I understand. It's okay to be sad. Can you tell me about it? Do we help our children? Our children are going through a difficult time. Probably the child that just spilled water. The child is learning how to hold a cup. As a parent, how do you react? Do you start shouting on your voice? Do you start to compare? Oh, child A can do this. Child A can drink water. Child A can feed. The child can feed herself or himself, and you can't do that. Or are we empathetic? Are we understanding as parents? Do we come down to the level of our children? So if we must be positive role models, we must be empathetic towards our children and towards everyone we meet. And the fourth way is continuous learning. Do we learn as parents? As a parent, my question for you today is, what book have you read on parenting today, this month, or this year? What are your goals? What are your plans for learning? Are you learning? Are you growing? Learning is a lifelong journey. We don't stop learning. We keep learning until we all go to heaven. So as a parent, are you learning? Our children are growing daily. They are changing. So are you learning what you need? Are you learning what your child will need for the next stage? You have a child that just turned 8. Have you learned about puberty? You have a child that is still a toddler. Have you learned about the developmental milestones of a toddler? We have to continuously learn, because when we don't learn, we always put ourselves in that position of comparing. But when you learn, you are at peace. You know that, okay, it's fine, it's developmental, okay, for my child to do this, to exhibit this tendency or this character at a particular time. You see a toddler running around. As a parent, do you stop the toddler? Or you see a toddler talking, do you tell the toddler, will you keep quiet, you're disturbing? But if you learn continuously, you will know that, okay, this might be one of the developmental milestones for my toddler. How can I promote this? How can I make my toddler to do better? So that is what learning does for us. We have to be intentional about continuous learning. It will do us a lot of good. Then the fifth way is kindness and respect. As a parent, do you model kindness? Do you model respect? Do we model for our children to watch? Or do we just say it with our mouths and we don't model? Children will always do what they see us do, and not necessarily what we say. Are you respectful in your communication with other people? Are you respectful in your communication with the other staff in your house? Or do you treat other people down? How do you treat other people? The people you meet on the way, how do you treat them? Are you kind towards other people? When we are kind towards other people, it's just natural for our children to learn how to be kind. But when we are not kind, we're not respectful in our speech, in our conversation, our children will definitely pick up those negative tendencies of ours. So, as parents, we have to be intentional about our journey. We have to be intentional about modeling the right values for our children to live with, because these are some of the legacies we're going to pass on to our children. So, Role modeling, it's a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong thing. It's not something you say, okay, I'm going to model today and that is it. It's our lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of life. So I want us to go through these 5 strategies and pick out one. Just start with one that you will begin to implement and as a parent. And I'm very hopeful, that when you start to do that, there will be a difference, in the way we parent and raise our children. So thank you very much for listening to me. Remember to be a good role model to your children. Remember, we are our children first role models. And one of the ways we can be renewed in our minds, one of the ways our children can also be renewed in their minds is when we model positive traits or positive characters to them. Thank you very much for listening to me. If you have any question, you can drop it down in the comment section. I'll try my best to listen. If you've got value from this class, please remember to like and share. And see you later. Have a good day. Bye.